Well, hello again, Locksters. How y'all doing today? Hallelujah. This is Miss Janice, and we're going to finish going over the module from where we left off on yesterday. I already made sure that I plugged in my camera, and this I'm right now. I'm in my house, in my little office. Let's see. This is, of course, blocked off. I got a board if I needed to stick up anything, paper, write, etc. I'm at a table, and let's get started. Yesterday, I believe we went 2 hours in. Um, so how y'all doing today? Doing okay? I'm trusting that you are. Today we're going to finish with styles, and I'm doing it here because I want to see if I can get in a video while sitting, and I noticed that, and I have the lighting on, but it's not right yet. So that's how come I'm practicing on you guys. But I'm practicing live. That's the best part. Okay, so I got a light here. I got the sun shining in the window. So if I put the paper up like this, see, it's blocking out the sun a little. Okay, so yesterday we left off at styles and techniques, and we were talking about the different types of styles, and one of them is some styles take many hours to complete. More complex styles are not disposable to be casually brushed out, and with proper care can last up to 3 months. And right now, my main technique, and I was asking, or I'm asking, excuse me, that you get a style that you become proficient at. And now I am becoming proficient at making or starting locks with knots. And I showed you in some of my other videos, and I would like show you again, but it's over there and over there, and I don't have any yarn or anything near me. So what it normally looks like is locked like this, and the stitch that I make is called a V stitch, and it looks exactly like this. Then there's a knot in that, and then it just keeps, and the chain just gets longer and longer and longer and longer, and then it becomes like this. So because I crochet, that's the way Father had allowed me to create a a, a tool, a locking tool, which is this right here, and it's they're basically all shaped in J's. They have a which looks like a flame at the top. I hope you can see it. Let me see. Well, if you can't, don't worry. One day you will. And let me see what else. And what it does is some of them are wider, and all of them basically has this little clip right here at the top where you lock your hair in, and then it's like you're threading it through. You're threading it through. And it's the same process for when I started these, my locks that are under my um lock sock. I keep saying because it's two, but anyway, and I want to make sure, or you want to make sure that you're able to explain everything and take your time. Don't worry if you mess up and all the kind of stuff, because you want to be yourself. You want to be yourself. You want to also look at your videos once you make them. If you're really like nervous and stuff like that, and not willing to go live and mess up or make mistakes, etc., then this is an option. This, excuse me, has an option of videoing it first, and you don't have to do it as long. See, the reason I'm doing the book is because I get to read it. I have it right here. You get to read it, and not only do you get to read it, but you get to remake videos. And as you grow in what you're doing, it becomes so natural. So you want to try to do it like every day, because this is your job. This is not necessarily your job, but this becomes your life. What you're doing, as an entrepreneur, it becomes your life. And I'm already doing what I'm doing, like what I'm making the videos of. The only difference is the fact that I want others to do it also. And I was even telling you how after um, you become a licensed natural hair care practitioner, that the first place that you, whatever city you're in, I'm in Portland, Oregon, so whatever city you're in, you want to connect with Children's Services Division. You want to connect with them. You want to be the guru of hair. And you can start your own prices. My price right now to do hair is to start locks. I really don't start locks. I usually like to do the upkeep part of locks. Is $50 to $75. And some hair, cause one young lady, she has, they're called not micro, but like little, like a whole head full of locks, and they're long. They're about this long. And the first time, I believe it took me 11 hours to just redo it. Just to knot the whole head, re-knot the whole head. And then with my other client, the first time it took me about 5.5 hours. His hair is just as long. And the second time it took like 2.5 hours. The second time with the young lady that has the whole full head of little teeny, it took me about 5.5 hours. So what I'm trying to say is, the more you practice doing it, I don't know what I'm looking at. The camera's right there, but the more you practice doing it, the easier it becomes. And I was going around looking for free people. I'll do your hair free, just so I can introduce the J hook. And they was like, wow, this is. And then the young lady has a hairdresser. Her and her son goes to a hairdresser, right? A beautician. I don't know why I call it hairdresser. Well, anyway, y'all know what I mean. And so she said she took the hook, and whereas it usually take her like 5 or so hours, just to do it by hand, palm rolling. And see, palm rolling is fast. That's how many locks she has. And she said it took like 2.5 hours to do her head. And this is like with a professional, somebody that went to school to become a beautician. She can also cut hair and dye hair and lock hair and keep up hair and style hair and curl hair and perm hair. She can do the whole works. But we're not worried about that. I only want a small portion. And like I said, I was only going to be a distributor of my products, but I was like, no. No, I want to get into I just want this to be my life, so that no matter where in the world I go, I can be licensed to do what I do, what I like to do, as a matter of fact. So instead of crocheting hats, because a lot of my hats look like hairstyles. Wait, here's one up here. This is, oh, hold on. This is one of my first ones. That's one of my first ones. And I did not know how to tighten it yet. So what I did was I pulled it like this in the back. And you can't see it because it goes down like this. You wear it like that. But look at the ruffles and see, I'm telling you. And this is my personal hat. This is mine. This is one of the white ones. And when I first made this, it just was stiff up like this, and so many people was like, oh, I want one, how much do they cost, because I actually wear my product. Okay, so you want to do that also. Okay, styles and techniques. Some styles take many hours to complete. More complex styles are not disposable to be casually brushed out, and with proper care can last up to 3 months. Some styles create a small amount of tension on the hair, and if properly started, there should be no pain, discomfort, or irritation to the scalp. And remember, we was talking about protective style, so we went another page, so I had to go back because that's when I took off my tube and let you all see it. See, because there's three. There are natural, protective, or transitional styles and techniques used in natural hair care. And yes, natural hair care is 3 words. I thought it was hair care together, but it's 3 words. Okay, if the following occurs in to the natural hair, permanent damage may be caused. Let me see. Improper tension, excessive amount of hair extensions, braid styles worn too long. And I'm liking that one because it says if the following occurs to the natural hair, permanent damage may be caused. And you've seen um like right on the top here where there was no hair, it's like still thin, like especially right here because that's where the hair is grown in. And today it was like a clump of hair about that small on my last lock right here, and I was like I was just excited. As you can tell, it really doesn't take much to excite me when it comes to hair growing on the top of my head or in my temples, because there were none there, and those are still thin and getting thicker. None here, none here, none right here, but there's a lock here, and then there's 1, 2, 3, and then there's one that's supposed to go this way. Okay, so improper tension is not what I'm concerned about. Excessive amount of hair extensions, not yet. I mean, I like doing hair extensions. I like doing hair, period. But because I have locks, because I am a locker, a lockster, I'm into braiding styles worn too long. So that is the one that I would pay more attention to. But because of the way that I'm locking hair, I'm making the hairstyle that I have, which is knots at the end of the hair. And what you do is you just make sure that it stays apart. And even if you have a lock sock on, you can feel, you can still get your hair in the separated position because you can literally feel them. I love it. Anyway, so braid styles worn too long. And one of the techniques that I like when I tutor is figuring out ways, helping you to figure out ways to remember what you're learning. And like I said, I'm the one that's going to do the locking process. I'm going to be so proficient. I'm going to be called a J hook specialist. I love crocheting with a J hook. I appreciate people telling me to do their hair with the J hook, and that they're buying them because they like the way that it stays in. They one of the main things one of the main compliments I receive after using the J hook is that it's not too tight, and they like the fact that it's neat. Because if, like I said, usually they'll let their hair grow for like 2 to 3 months, or I don't do it like 2 weeks and stuff like that. That's not what I'm here for. So when my clients come to me, when they come to mzjanis, what I usually do is I talk them through and literally show them how to do it on their own head, so that when they get home, if they have a husband or they have a wife, they can actually let them do it. It's that easy. If they have a kid, they can let them do it because it's that easy. And they'll have their little head and they thread it through, and then lock it in the top, push it through, pull it out, go another direction up, pull it out. And I usually like to do it like that. The two, just the one knot, not I mean half knot, not a whole knot, because it's still my hair still looked fat after I did it. And then like now I'm noticing. Hold on, at least show y'all the end. I told y'all, look how long that is. Come on now. Anyway, um, this is what's getting fat right now, because it was really skinny at first, and now it's getting thicker. The top is just becoming like a little afro, right? So if you learn the technique that you want to know, that you want to do, once you figure out which one you want to become famous for, like if you want to become famous for starting, to want to become famous for braiding, want to become famous for making box braids, want to become famous, that's what you start as. You become the professional box braider. You be the best box braiders people has ever seen, and then you get a protective style hairdo that's simple, that's easy. You braid it, you do all the box braids, and then you bun it, or you show them how to cover it up at night so you can sell some more product, but not product you put in your hair, but product to keep your hair protected. I like one of the fancy things that they say about locks is that you should sleep on a silk or satin. And I'm already thinking of how to get a hat made out of a satin pillowcase. I'm already asking, Father, I want a pattern so that I can, and I want to sew it by hand. I want to do everything by hand. I want these hands. Father said that these hands are prosperous. And so whatever you do with them shall prosper. Let me see something. Hold on. See, because if you look in the mirror, it's clear and it's not as shiny. I don't know if that's better or not. I'm looking. I still see light. Hold on. I'm going to get this. You'll see. You're going to be so proud of me one day. Maybe it's supposed to be behind the camera. Hold on. I'm not going to stop it, you guys. I need to do this. And I figure while I'm doing something, I might as well. Hold on 1 second. It looks like that's it. It looks like it. It looks like it. Pushing in the chair. This is my favorite outfit, by the way. On Mondays, I clean the church. Let's see. I'm just checking, okay? Because if this is it, we both want to be happy. Okay. I don't know if that's it, so I'm going to see in just a second. If not, I'll put it back and we'll go again. I think that might be, guys. Hold on. Maybe I'll turn this way. I think that might be it. Oops. So y'all think I'm joking. We're all going to become prosperous together. And I'm not just talking financially either. Because within you already is everything you need in order to enjoy the prosperous life that is set before you. It's already there. You just have to do, well, I should say we just have to do our part. And once we start doing our part, things start falling in line. Hey, I can even see my fish tank back there. That right there is Lip. He has a mustache on his mouth. I was gonna call him Stash, but I call him Lip instead. Okay, now look at the styles and technique. The first one is oops, wrong place. The first one is weaves. A style achieved by adding hair, either natural or synthetic, to the existing hair to either protect, add a new dimension, or cover balding or thinning spots. And there's some people, there's one young lady out there, the person's hair that she did, I believe she said that she didn't have any hair since, I don't remember how long, but it was such a long time. But by the time she got finished with what she was blessed to create, the lady was literally, it was just beautiful. And then she had done it for several people, and they told her that you need to start selling it. Okay, styles and techniques. This one right here was weaves. This one is extensions. A style achieved by securing wisps or strands of human hair, synthetic hair, or a combination of both to the base of the client's natural hair to add length, volume, texture, and color. So not only are you able to do different things, to do different techniques. So you gotta begin to use the words that you're supposed to be learning. Okay, styles and techniques. It's also telling you that you can do weaves, that you can do extensions, and then it's telling you a combination of both to the base of the client's natural hair, and it's telling what it is to add length, volume, texture, and color. Okay, here's extensions, natural hair. Okay, I keep looking at wrong stuff. I'm trying my best, you guys, to stay in the camera. Advantages. Natural hair appears more realistic, has a greater durability and tolerance to heat from a blow dryer, curling iron, or hot rollers, and can be custom colored or permed to suit the client. Extensions, like natural hair. Okay, natural hair disadvantages. Natural hair reacts to exposure to light by fading, to humidity by either frizzing or losing its curl, and will break or split if mistreated by harsh brushing, back combing, or excessive use of heat. And I like that part because I'm just now learning about back combing. That's how come I said I want a technique that works on me first. And so I did things like after so many months, I dyed my knotted locks. After so many months, I redid my knotted locks. After so many months. So then when people say, can you wash it? Can you dye it? Can you? And I learned all that from making hats. I would make a hat and I would wash the hat. and and put it in the dryer and just do all kinds of stuff on myself. I will wear them. I remember when I first started putting colors together, and I would put a knot in it, like, and string and all that kind of stuff. Until one day I was like, Father, when I go to the store to buy a hat, I don't see knots. Can you teach me? I need to learn how to not put knots in the hats, when the colors change. And now, and I told you, every time I learn something, I just do make a new hat. Not, right? Let me see if I can find one. Hold on. When I stopped putting knots in the hats, then the yarn was coming with knots in it. I'm like, what? And that's where I used to end. Now that's where I start. I used to make the rim, sew up, close it. So I was trying to see if it had a knot in it, but it's the same color, but a lot of times the majority of the thread has a knot in it. And I didn't have to add, I'm trying to find it. I didn't have to add anything, but I had to learn how to make it smaller at the edge of your hair. Now I do that too. Lord just blessed. I'm just so thankful. Okay, so synthetic hair is particularly strong and durable and can simulate natural hair with a lustrous look and feel. It's generally less expensive than natural hair, and the color is timeless. The style will not change with exposure to humidity. And there is some good, very good. I mean, YouTube is good for a lot of stuff. YouTube will show you how to do stuff. And that's why this is a good avenue, a very good avenue. Because if you use YouTube for something else, like I do, I upload videos of my hair, upload videos of the church services, upload videos of the teachings, upload videos of I just keep uploading videos. But when I decided to become a licensed natural hair care practitioner, because remember, you don't put the word license on it until after you take the test and get your license. But you become a natural hair care practitioner. Okay? And then after you start telling people who you are, what you do. And then the price can be small. How much do you charge? Well, I only charge $50 now. Or I only charge $75. Or I only charge, just make sure you say I only. Because like I remember one time I was making hats and I said I only charge $35. But these are for the hat, I only charge $35. But these are for the hats that are like the length. Now this one right here is probably like still gonna be $35 because it's one color. But it won't have all the fancy stuff on it. It won't have all that. And this is the way it looks on. Hold on, let me see if I can turn around. And I usually put like a bead or something on the bottom of this. But that's basically how they look. Oops, sorry. Okay, now extensions, synthetic hair. Synthetic hair, disadvantages. Synthetic hair cannot be exposed to extreme heat. Coloring synthetic fibers is not recommended due to traditional hair colors not being compatible. And some synthetic hair is so shiny, it looks unnatural. That's the disadvantages. And styles and techniques. Listen to this. You will not believe what it says. Afros. Afro. A style of tight curls on long or short wavy, curly, coiled, or highly textured hair. And remember that whatever, like, It's going to become your favorite style. Like I told you, mine is going to be locks. When you make videos, when you teach, when you, whatever you do like I do. You know, as you're making the video, woo, it's cold out there. As you're making the video, you talk. You talk about your hair. You let the people see your hair, how your hair is coming out, how your hair is working. Let me see if I can find that bunch. See, look, there it is. Let's see if you can see it. That's about how long it is. I got a few of them. I got one there. And see on the top, not that one. This one right here. This hair was not here, but it's slowly growing in. See? Yeah, and you can tell that's new. And that's what it's doing. It's slowly growing in. And this is definitely a protective style if you don't have, or if you have thin hair. Well, mine is thin right now because it wasn't there. Now it's growing in. So as it grows in, this is one. This is one. No, not this one. This one. These are new. And when I had the locks before, see, it's just my hair is just waking up. When I had the locks before, sorry. What mainly happened was as the hair grew, I slowly put it in, twisted it in, like used a real crocheting needle. I had the hook. Here's one. I had the hook at the end. I would take this hair like this, wrap it around. Hold on. Wrap it around. I'm not going to pull it through because you know it doesn't belong there. Ouch. Pull it through and then unwrap it. Pull it through or do it like that. So you pull it through first and then you hold it on this side and just push the needle, not the needle, yeah, the hook through. But you push it through this lock. For example, if this is the lock, you push it through this lock, wrap it around, pull it through, put this on this way like this to make sure you pulled it through, and then you hold it and just but this one goes into this lock right here. But Afro styles and techniques. And I was telling you when I got to the Afro part, I always wanted a locked Afro. That's why I wanted to start it at the base. But if you notice, you should have seen this part. It was like humongous, and then hair, not this particular one, but hair grew through it, and it was, and when I took it out, I split those hairs. Hallelujah. Okay, so styles and techniques, afros. A style of tight curls or on long or short, wavy, curly, coiled, or highly textured hair. And remember, we learned that on yesterday when we were going over the book. It was saying, when we we're going over the module, it was explaining how there are different textures of hair, and then if it's like straight, it's going to be like flat. If it's coily, it's going to be a little round, and like that. Okay, types and techniques, afros. Afro twist extensions. Achieved when human or synthetic hair fibers are anchored to the natural hair with a braid and twist combination. A braid and twist combination. An Afro weave. A style achieved by attaching textured hair, which is on a weft, and sewing it to the design or designated cornrow with cotton thread. So it's like all these different techniques. And if I was you, And you want to get good at what you're doing, to make the people come to you. One of my main things I do is just pray. Father, this is your business. You're working through my hands. Send me customer. I just you know, want to tell you what I do. To be honest, I don't work. I do not work hard because I just keep listening to what I hear. You start with what you have. You don't have to keep buying stuff. I remember one time I was making a hat, and a lady had asked me, and I was like, um, I didn't have thread yarn, especially the color she wanted, and she said she wanted a sky blue hat. We came up with the color as sky blue, and so I was like, okay. So I go home or come home, and I said, Father, can I go buy some yarn? And there was no answer at all. There was nothing, and I was like, well, sure, it's gonna be nice to see how you get me some yarn. And almost by the time I got to the part of yarn, I hear footsteps coming downstairs, and it's the young lady that lived in the apartment upstairs. And she said, Miss Janice, she knocked on the door. She said, Miss Janice, I don't know if you can use this or not, but I'm not going to need it, so you can have it. And it was a bag of she crocheted blankets, like the color of footballs. I mean footballs, the color of football teams. And she just some people would ask her to make the blanket, and they would buy the yarn. She would do it, and then, but anyway, and I was like, thank you, thank you. I wasn't looking at her. I was looking at God. And then I said, "Now, I wonder does it have blue in here?" Like, it wasn't. It had enough blue to make the hat that she wanted and everything. The lady was happy. Her neighbor even wanted a hat. Okay, another one is braids. Styles and techniques, braids. Single braid. A style achieved when hair is divided into three equal sections that are intertwined or weaved into one single braid. Now, I wouldn't mind starting locks with braids. But like I said, there's going to be somebody that's a part of our team that's going to do braids. That's going to be so good at doing braids. They're going to be like, I love the braid. I mean, I'm so fast. I can do one braid like in about a minute and a half. I don't care how long the hair is. It's just the technique that, I got and blah, blah. Anyway, I told you what I'm doing. My main thing is going to be the J hook. That's going to be my main thing. So if people don't want the J hook, it's a style achieved when hair is divided and I usually call that a plait, but this says braid. So that'll be one way that I can remember. Oh, and look at this. See, I'm pulling these two right here. I'm pulling them together. But so what I usually do is pull this first and then grab it with this hand. And then see? So that's how you keep them together. Because some kind of way they know that I belong over here. I don't belong here. So I usually pull them real soft, not yank, but pull it and just grab it. And I like having my hair covered because I like the other products that I sell too, but and I shouldn't say sell, like distribute. I mean, I do sell them, trust me. And one day, a young lady, she came in the shop, and I told her that I was getting. Let me see. I do the J hooks for $10, and as long as they would last, I told her that I'm giving these away free with the J hook. So because I want to make the J hook the going product. I want to make the J hook the thing that really sells. And so, but anyway, she gave me $20. Well, I think she asked me on the phone, well, how much do these usually cost? And I said, if it were by itself, it would cost $10, but I'm giving it with the J hook because that's what I want to be, to basically make famous. I want to be famous for the J hook because Father helped me to create it. And she's like, oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Something like that, or however she talks. And then she gave me $20 bill. And I was like, oh, did you want two of them? She said, no, no, that's for you. Thank you so much. And I wanted the red one too. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And that's how I started really selling hats because I used to give them away free. You know, Father said, little one, I have a job for you. And I want you to make hats and I want you to give them away free. And that's how I started. That was like, because people don't, he was saying how people don't give stuff away free anymore. And that's because I would give stuff away free. People was like, wow, that's nice. Who made this? And can you make me one? And after they found out it was me, and how much are they? And then I would say they're free. And they was like, okay. And I started, if you get the yarn, and how many skeins of yarn do I need? Just two. And now I still do, you have to get your own yarn. If it's already made, it's $35. And it used to be 20. Hold on. Almost done. Okay, Casimus braids. That's a YouTube one. It's a style achieved when single large extended braids with a tight stitch are tapered and or curved at the ends. I think I'm gonna look that up. I left my Bible. I left my Casimus, and that's spelled Casamas. So now you'll see how come I like to do these in part because, or these are done in part because of the talking in between. Because this is a style and a technique. And Casimus, I wish I knew how to make this go that way. Casimus braids. Never even heard of it. Have you? Casimus. I wrote it down. These are still styles and techniques, and it's still talking about braids. Cornrow or cane row braids. A style achieved when underhand 3-strand braids are interwoven to lie down on the scalp and can be designed and sculptured into varying patterns with or without extensions. My sister was a braider. I remember when she was, I don't know, I know she was younger than 13. But she used to do my brother's hair, my oldest brother. And she would and she was a little kid. You know, I might have been 8, she might have been 10 or 11, something like that. And she would make crowns. And this is and connect them. And just, she would do all kinds of fancy stuff that was never even seen before. I'm like, wow. And she's the one that taught me how to cornrow, but I learn from what people say, not from what they do. Because she would do it like this and do something like this with her hands and just take the hair and, but me, I'll be like, nothing like what she would do. I mean, she can get the teeniest pieces of hair. I mean, and she, I don't know what she was doing, but she was saying, Jan, I'm just putting it under. And she would tell me. So me putting it under, and in my head, it looked like it would come out a braid. It would stay in. It looked nice. But because she could do it like that, she can just turn her hands this way, had a person turn their head to the side, and she can braid up. Me, I would have to stand up put my hand way down, and see, it wasn't working. So she was doing styles. I was doing. Oh, and here's a style. It's a style and technique, and that's called braid out. A style achieved when the hair is braided either wet or dry, and then opened to create a crimped texture on texture effect with added volume. I like that style. I remember when I used to, I had to stay in, I think it was a halfway house. When you do something bad, like spank your kid and have to go to whatever the place is called. That's what I did. And the people there found out some kind of way, probably accident. I said yes. Found out that I braided hair, and so their hair was like long. And one young lady, she said, "Can you do it in like 10, 10 braids, like parted here and like this?" And like she had the part where she wanted it, and then just go down like that, and that's what I want. But if you do 10 braids, it'll be like her hair was normally flat ish, but after I did it, it was like poof, and long and so pretty. Oh, anyway, styles and techniques. Here's one called coils. Coils or comb twists. A style achieved when small sections of natural hair are spiraled with fingers or a comb to create individual formations of tight cylindrical coils. Isn't that cool? That's awesome. That's a locking technique also. Well, how did you start your comb coils? That's what they say. Oh, I started my locks with 2-strand twists. Soon, I started my locks with I can't even think of the name of it right now. And they were like real small, real intricately teeny, tiny. It looks like maybe 8 hairs. That's what it looks like. It's not 8 hairs, but it looks like 8 hairs maybe came together, and they just parted it. Teen micro. No, micro is not sister locks, because micro braids seem to be bigger than sister locks, and they're still little. And I think that's what that young lady had in her hair that I was telling you. That was my one of my first clients, and I did the J hook on, but she didn't make it because I was like, I'll do your hair for free, and she took too long. So I charged her $50, and we literally, I was like, oh, I should have charged more. No, but that's how much I started out charging when I started using the J hook. Because basically I was starting a new thing, and I wanted to make sure that it worked not only on myself, but I wanted to be able to put out my mouth that I have clients who let me do their hair. Okay, styles and techniques, coils. Okay, Nubian coils. A style achieved when naturally curly or textured hair is curled into a cylindrical shape with a comb or hands. That sounds almost like this one. A style achieved when small sections of natural hair are spiraled with fingers or oh, a cylindrical shape with a comb or hand. Okay. Well, today won't be the first day that we're learning this, so I gotta look at this and go, oh my goodness, why do I keep looking? See, now I'm looking at the word live. Anyway, now that my hair is awake, I can show you what I was talking about earlier. See? This was no hair. And one of the reasons why I like starting my locks this way is because there's no stress at all on my scalp. None whatsoever. I had started, I told you all, I had one knot here, well, half of a knot. I just twisted it, and then I took the J hook and just went through this way, and it went down. And then that was it. And I usually like to wet my hair every single day. Seriously, winter, spring, summer, fall, every single day. And now that I did it at the ends, I noticed that it made it easier to continue to separate it because I'm really tight, light with this. And this is usually what I do. I go to the scalp part. And I noticed today that this one right here had hair in it. And so I did like this. And I just moved it this way, held it, moved it back like this. I was like, what? Where's my part? I mean, it can't go away that quick. But anyway, I like this. Come on, you guys. Don't y'all like it? Hold on. Let me show you the back. I don't want to kick the camera. This one right here seems like it should be two. See, I did every single last one of them. Every single last one. Okay, so styles and techniques. If I had a drum roll or machine, a cheering machine, I would put it in right here because it says locks. Locks, then in parentheses it says dreadlocks. A style achieved when natural texture hair is meshed, intertwined, and interlaced to form a solid cylinder and separate network of hair. Okay. And I don't think mine is going to be round yet. I really don't. Oh, I do get to show you this one. This one is growing in. It was really gone, but now it's kind of growing in. And then like I said, I slowly put it together when it grows. Well, that's what I did before. I don't know how it's going to work with this. And this one is full. See? And what happened was, what happened was, I when I permed my hair, or when I used to perm my hair, it was burning, and I took the towel and went, and it just wiped it all off. Okay, look at this one. New locks. A style achieved when yarn fiber is single braided, giving the extension a matte finish to look like locks. I never heard of that. A style achieved when yarn fiber is single braided, giving the extension a matte finish to look like locks. I remember my sister, she said for her 60th birthday, she's going to cut off all her hair. So the year before, or months before, she like went to the beauty parlor. She got it. She didn't get a perm, but she got it iron. What do they call it? Straight ironed. I think that's what it's called. Curled and styled, and it was just moving. And she long hair. I mean, pretty long hair. And then she did another thing before that. She wanted the people that I knew that were hairdressers to do her hair, so that she can pay them. But anyway, but let's say in March or something like that of the year before, Like she turned 60 this year in January, the 4th. So the year before, but in March 2017, she just stopped doing everything to her hair. She stopped. She washed it, but she didn't comb it. She didn't do none of that stuff, and so she ended up uh, getting like these on the. I said, Dad, why don't you let me lock your hair? She's like, no, you know. This one right here feels different. And I don't know why they're splitting. You see that? See? That's why I said some of them feel like it should be two. And then some of them are coming out on the ends. Wait, hold on. Well, it feels like it's coming out. This one looks like it's not, but it feels like it is. Ooh! A style and technique, a twist. Bantu knots. I saw that one. I did that. I'm gonna wait to really style my hair though this time, because I don't want it to get like confused or stuck, because it's already doing it by itself. But it's a style achieved, because remember, before it says style and techniques, it said it was like 3 different types, and one of them is protective styles. Like I know locking is a protective style, because this right here, it helps my hair grow. Last year, and this time it's helping it grow more. I was telling you, sorry, went off the subject a little bit there, but I was telling you how I had started with the half of a knot, like go in once and once. You have to do it 4 times as a knot, and that came out. Well, a lot of them came out, so I just took it out, and then I said this right here. I did the knotted on the end, this end, and then, but even before doing that, I put a rubber band on it, and let me see. Well, you can see it now. See how it's coming back? But this was gone, and I had the, see, it's coming in right. Hold up. See? But it was gone. It was like, oh no. Because, see, this is so new. It's not strong or anything like that. So, I don't know what I was thinking. And I even tried to, when I combined my locks, or I did the rubber band too, and my hair was itching. But I did the rubber band so loose, and I had them down here. But still, it was like, oh, look at that. I love it. All right, get back in there. Anyway, so I need to make sure that I don't do anything but like this. So me personally, when I'm as we're learning this together, because I'm gonna go over it often, but I don't think I'm gonna try to do a whole thing in like a day when I do the videos. Because I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a DVD or a CD, probably a CD, and just talk or read all of this. So it's like I do with Spanish. I just listen to the Bible in Spanish, and it's like I am actually learning this. I know that word. Oh, I remember that word, and then I keep adding, learning more and more words. Okay, let me get back to work. Styles and technique, twists. Okay, Bantu knot is one of the twist styles. It's a style achieved when the hair is double strand twisted or coil twisted and wrapped around itself to make a knot and secured by bobby pins or elastic bands. But I didn't. I used some if I was gonna go to sleep. But normally, for some reason, it seemed like mine stayed. So I didn't have to use a bobby pin or a plastic band. But I have them. As a matter of fact, I said I was going to become a black rubber band specialist. Okay, and check this out. It says a Bantu knot out. A style achieved by a Bantu knot which has been dried and released, creating a style with spiral curls. The phone came on, look. Went off. And then I remember my daughter saying, "Oh, that's called a braid out." So I know what she means. I mean, I didn't know at first, but now I know what she means. But I don't think I ever heard a Bantu out. Styles and techniques twist, a flat twist. Now, when my hair grows, I usually like. Let me see if I can show you. I usually make this apart, right here, that right there, and I usually twist it. I usually twist this to the end, put it together, and go to the next one. And I usually twist it to the end, like that. And then I usually put, after it's all twisted to the end, I usually put this. I usually like to put this on it. I have a cuter one too. That's my lock jewelry. And the reason I made this like this, because I think eventually I'm going to put these together. This one is going to go with this one. I think. I'm not sure. Because I like... This is how I styled it. I made a row here. A row beside it. Anyway, I like my hair. Okay, a flat twist, and that's what I call a cornrow, and I think they call it a flat twist. It's a parted row of hair that is first divided into two sections, and then twisted and interwoven to lie flat on the scalp. It can be in varying patterns, with or without extensions. Yeah, my grandmother, she used to cornrow her hair all the time. And I don't think I ever asked her how she did it. But by the time the idea got into my hands, my fingers, I'd cornroll it in a style, twist it at the end, and that was how my children's hair grew. So, and I used to just cornroll it and then just stick your finger in it and just come right out. Real easy. Okay, styles and techniques. Here's another one. This is a twist. This is a double strand twist. A style achieved with wet or dry hair divided into two sections and then overlapped to create a twisted rope effect. Dry or a textured effect. Wet. And one of the things I like to do is I like to do my hair when it's dry. Because to me it seems puffy. The hairstyle itself seems puffy. It seems like, oh, that's cute. Like that. You know how when you do little kids' hair and loose, this just like they have one plait here. Well, hold on. This will be over here with this one. So they have one plait here, one plait here, and then it's long enough to add both of them together, and then the hair in the back is just another section. I like that style when my hair is dry. I thought I'd let you know. That means it gets long enough to do it. Okay, style and techniques twist. Twist set, a two-part set. A two-part set is a style achieved when done on natural or transitional hair, twist extensions, weaves, wigs, or locks, which is a double twist and then set on rods, which can only be placed at the end of the hair or lock. Ooh, that sounds good when my hair gets long enough. Because I want, as if this is the new growth right here, right? So I really, like every lock, I want this much new growth. You know, I want a lot of new growth. And I told you all how, I think I'm liking doing the live videos. And one reason, and I keep looking at if you push it, the camera turns around. So if it looks like I'm looking over here, that's why. I'm looking at the camera. But one of the reasons I know for a fact that I'm going to like doing the live videos is because they're live. They're me. And I'm going to talk the lessons. I don't think I'm just going to tutor the lessons. I think I'm going to do what I'm doing right now, which is talk the lessons. Because it makes me, to me, it seems like I'm relaxing. It seems like I have stories to tell. I didn't even know I had any. But this is good. This is good. Okay, we're on page 85. 85. Wow. Okay, styles and techniques. This is another twist. And it says twist set is a two-part set. It's a style achieved when done on natural or transitional hair, twist extensions, weaves, wigs, or locks, which is double twist, and then set in rods, which can only be placed at the end of the hair or lock. And I like lock. The only difference is when I do lock, I put all of them capital. Because I found out that lock is lotions, oils, and creams. And I said that mine are going to be called, WOPs. Because all I use is water, oil, and prayer. Somebody said, what do you call yours? You call them dreads, locks? And I said, I call mine WOPs because I found out that locks mean lotions, oil, and cream. And I put water, oil, which is castor oil, and prayer. Because that was all I used. And I waited till after a year. And then I stopped doing anything. Basically, I stopped locking it. I just stopped doing anything. Because it was like the baby is one. You know, let the baby do what it wants to do. Let it grow, in real life. And so when I stopped doing it, this is the new growth that I started these with. My hair was about that. It probably was really shorter than that. Because at first I did like this. And I just kept doing it. So it was separate. But I didn't keep it like that. I did the cornrows that I was telling you about with that style. And I don't use a comb or anything. I just use this. I have to have a fingernail. I have to have this fingernail in order to cornrow. Okay, styles and techniques is another twist style. And this one is twist curls. It's a style achieved on textured hair and done by using a double twist technique on wet hair to define the textured curl and waves. Double twist. I wonder, is that the one where as you're twisting, you twist, and then you twist. You twist, and they call it singlese. I wonder, is that one? Of course, I got the paperwork, but I know for this one, the Casamas, Casamas. Maybe it's Spanish. But here's a twist out. A style achieved by a double strand twist on any size and length of wet hair. The dry twists are opened and unraveled to add fullness, volume, and a crimped effect. Ooh, my eyes look sleepy. Hold on. Wow. But I like this lighting though. I gotta make a video though when it's dark. Maybe I'll put the camera over here. No. Maybe I'll put the light. Ah! I'm gonna put the light over here, and so I can sit back in the chair. Okay, I just did a twist out, and there was another twist. So I think it's about 10 different twist styles. I would count them, but we'll do that the next time, since I thought of it just now. Okay, now we're on tools. Now just think, one of these days, the J hook might be in this book. It says the only tools that may be used for a natural hair care service are the hands or simple devices such as combs, needles, clips, working boards. Scissors may only be used, listen to this, to trim synthetic fibers or hair extensions as necessary. Which means after the hair is in, and say your hair is this short and down is this long, or maybe this long, and you go, I really don't want it that short. Excuse me, I really want it shorter. I don't really want it that long. Can you do it right up like to my ear? And then you can cut the synthetic hair, or the fake hair, or the natural hair that you bought from the store, like that. You cannot cut the natural hair, because I'm gonna show you why. And this is going to be on the test. Seriously. I mean, you see it? It says only, but it's saying it like scissors may only. Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Scissors may only be used to trim synthetic fibers or hair extensions as necessary. It's like only, they're sinking it in. Okay, so now they're talking about the tools. Combs. Finishing comb is usually 8 to 10 inches long, works well on fine or straight hair, and is used when trimming synthetic fibers, hair extensions, or sewn in weave extensions. And usually, it's like you comb it through, and then your natural hair stops here, so you comb it through, and then usually they'll do something like this, and then they'll clip, 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 clip. I won't have to worry about doing that part. I'll remember it for the test if needed, and the way this lesson is, this module, is, it's not like they're making it hard. It's more like they're making it so that you can be a licensed natural hair care practitioner. A licensed natural hair care practitioner. So what would you put at the end of your name? LHCP. Licensed hair care practitioner. LHCP. And so when somebody ever asks you what that means, it says, "Oh, I'm a licensed hair care practitioner." And what does that mean? And I say, well, you can tutor, you can teach, you can do hair, you can work in a salon, and it tells you all that too. But you need to know what you can do. You don't want to put anyone else's license in jeopardy. And then I don't think you will. Because you want to be good at what you do, and you want to be the best licensed hair care practitioner that you've ever even noticed, seen, want to know. I mean, you might know some people, and you might come up with some words like lockster. Like, what's a lockster? Well, it's men and women, like sisters and brothers, who have locks. So where did it get that word from? I made it up. So now, for now on, if you ever hear anyone say Locksters, they got it from mzjanis. That's like there's a lady that calls herself a lockologist. I can't think of her name right now. I think she's from Haiti or Jamaica, one of the two. I don't remember which one. I'll know. Oh, I almost had it. And she got that name, not notarized, but it's like her word that she made up. I don't want to do all that. I'm just telling you ahead of time. You have never heard the word locksters before. And it's sisters and brothers. So it's locks for sisters and TERS. I took the H out because it says her, and then brothers. Okay? So we're back to tools and combs. Finishing comb, but this one down here is a large tooth or wide tooth comb. And you can get a set of combs at Walmart. Oh, it just got lighter. Did you see that? What did I do? I just leaned like this and it got lighter. Cool. Anyway, so you can get this set of tools at Walmart. And so, of course, you know that since I'm teaching the class, anything that I can help with, I'd show you. Like, I still have some, like, next door and in the bathroom. Because it's, like, 15 tools. And once you start locking your hair, you don't even need a comb no more. Or a brush if you don't want to. I used to brush my locks. And because I like the frizz. And I found out that the frizz is what helps your locks to do this locking. It's like, don't tell me stuff that helps because I'm going to do it. Okay. A medium to large distance between the tooth range to allow curly hair to move between the rows of teeth with ease. And the lock comb, when I used to comb my locks, I only used, like, say, for example, this, and I only did it maybe once or twice for the new growth. I would take this, and I'm not doing it now. Look at that, though. They're not locked. They're just, like, tangling. Wait, what's that? Oh, that feels nice. Can you see it? I'm going to look at it in the video. When I re-look at the video. Yes, I re-look at my videos. I want to make sure that I sound good. No, let's not. But I like this word right here, the finishing comb. And I know what a large tooth or a wide tooth comb is. And it's good for, like, afros. But this finishing comb is used when trimming synthetic fibers. I never knew that name. And I think one day I'm gonna come on here and with my computer. That way, if I come on here with my computer, I can quickly go online. It's a little teeny. You should see, it's a cute little thing. Okay, we're still doing combs. And then here's a tail comb, a tapering tail or a handle used for parting hair for braiding, weaving, sectioning large segments of hair, and opening and removing of braids. Oh my. I wanted to show y'all when I used this with my locks, and I would combine my locks. I did like this. The lock was this. It was just like this almost. I would stick this through, lock. Go to the next one, stick it through this fire part, and just pull it through. And then I twist it, do it again, stick it through, put the next lock near it, and pull it through. It was so nice. And then after they were locked for a while, like when I tried to do it again, it was so hard. This like a year in, like February, May, Anyway, I tried to do it, and it was like a year, like maybe 15 months in, it was like, it's not working. So I tried to combine them, twist them, rubber band them. I had my daughter section them all for me so it can look kind of cute. And they look like little baby, they look like new. It was terrible. I did not like it at all. And I was like, well, if I'm going to have to wait till these grow together, I might be able to talk someone comfortably into, combining locks. But I already knew that when I started this time, so I took them out like on Friday to Saturday, and then Saturday I redid them. And this is what I did. But in the meantime, I tried to, what is it called? Uh, knot them at the top so I can have like a knotted afro. I love that look. But instead, with the type of hair that I have that's still growing in and doesn't need any manipulation, pulling, I showed you how I do it, and then I hold it with the other hand, because I'm holding this book right now. Hold it with the other hand so that I really just want to do this. Because y'all see, I've been doing this all since I took my thing. Oh, look, here's another one. But it's still staying in this section. And that's what I was going to do, because when the knots came out. But the thing was, when I put the knot in and it was still there, like one half of this, and I don't know why they're like splitting in the middle. I hope it's not trying to tell me to make them smaller. You know how your hair is supposed to talk to you and tell you to leave it alone. Okay, look at this one. And I saw this one. And I didn't know that the double tooth comb or detangling comb is 2 rows of teeth used for separating the hair as it combs to limit tangling and snarling on wet curly hair. Now, I don't plan on combing my hair for a while. And because I'm doing all these like lock socks, I want the lock socks and the J-hook to be my main product. When I talk about product, I'm talking about wearing product. Because a lot of the hats take a while, and until I get, really, I think I can make maybe 4 hats, 3 to 4 hats a month, depending on if I'm styling the hat or creating the hat as I go. I like to sew, so I might, like I said, start doing the handmade hats out of pillowcases. I used to do handmade hats, but I sewed them by machine. I really want to sew them by hand. There's a stitch that I like that I really think it's be good, and it's a thick stitch. Nope, thread ain't even over here. So anyway, but I never knew that's what was for. Just like the tail comb. I knew that they usually call it a rat tail comb. And I was going to show you what I took my hair out with. It was a little bigger than this. Let me see if it's on this first. But I took my hair out with one of these. It's called a tack. And I started like at the bottom and just pulled down. And I just took my time. And it took me 14 hours to take out my locks. I believe I had, because they didn't combine, so it was 100 and something. Like 158. 100. Oh, I think it was like 150 something. Oh, here's another tool. It's called a pick comb. Let me see. This is going to say that it's for afros. I don't know what. I can't wait till the next time I teach this lesson, because I'm saying all this stuff now, and in my head, it seems like I'm going to have other stuff to say. So I'm hoping to get like familiar with this. Because I have until the month of October to take my test. And I'm be like, hey, you guys, look. You know, it says a pick comb, long, widely spaced, rounded teeth made of metal, plastic, wood, or ivory, and designed for lifting and separating textured and curly hair, such as afros and human hair extensions. Ah. I don't know how it got so bright. Maybe because it got dark, or it's getting dark outside. Okay, tools. Here's the clips. So now you got to remember that there's certain things that you use, okay? And just think about what you already know can be used, like bobby pins, hair clips, the big clips, the different types of combs, what they're used for. This is how you remember stuff. And then when you see it, like at Walmart, Walgreens, trying to think of stores that are probably everywhere. Walmart, Walgreens. Right now, those are the only two I can think of. And Portland, they have what's called Fred Meyer's. They have Wendy's. No, I'm just joking. You cannot get hair stuff there. We have a Mid K's. We have a In Living Color, and Mid K's is like moving to like different parts of the city. I mean the state, Gresham. I mean different cities in the state, Gresham, like that. So it's just like when you teaching, if you want to be a tutor also, what you want to do is, because you, after you become licensed, you want to take the free stuff down, you know, and you want to invite people to the live videos. See, like right now, if somebody find me, that's great, because I'm practicing doing these videos, and I want it to be casual, cool, calm. I want it to be joyous. I don't want it to be boring, lively. You know, you want all these active things to be participated in. You know, you want conversation going. You want questions. You want like that. And you want to literally be able to show these things. So I want to be able to literally have these things so that as I'm teaching a class, you can do it. I remember when I was teaching, not teaching, excuse me, I was going to class to become a certified nurse's assistant. You become a nurse's assistant, but then after you take a test and you get your certificate, you're certified at it. Then you have to every year, or every 2 years, you have to update your license. And at first you didn't have to do that, but then it was like the state got involved, you know. Okay. And that's what you're doing. You want to make sure that you have an opportunity to do, to have people to do it hands on. And so you're teaching them how to teach people. And that's what I'm doing. I'm teaching people how to teach, or I'm tutoring people how to tutor. But this section, this subject is a module. But you want them to, you know, go to you. There are people out there that are doing this. And when we had the opportunity to take the test, it was a hands-on test, even though it was a dummy, but it was a hands-on. There was somebody watching you. They say, I want you to go into room 3 and take the person's temperature. And it would say Miss Johnson's temperature. And then me personally, I was like, they didn't say knock on the door. They didn't say, this is stuff you're supposed to know. And they would, you know, they were checking you off on they had a checklist that they had to go by. You know, like she forgot to do that. Anyway, so I knew, so I became an actress. I was like, hi, miss, you know, not fake knock. I say, hi, miss. And then I'll go over to the hand. and as if I'm looking at their name tag on their arm. Yes, Miss Johnson. Hi, Miss Johnson. How are you today? My name is Janice, and I'm going to be your aide. I'm coming to take your temperature. Is it okay? Is this a good time for you? Like that. I mean, I'm like really into this. You don't just go in a person's room, assume that they're Miss Johnson. You got to know what you're doing. And that's like hair care, as a natural hair care practitioner. The thing is, you're already doing it. You're already. What you have to do is become good at it in front of the people that you're tutoring. So, because I want to do everything. That's why it's called Lockster's Embassy. At an embassy, you're supposed to be able to go get answers to your questions. So you don't just want to do this part. You want to get the tools. You want to, show pictures, hair. You want to, but I said, we're learning this together. Now, if 2, 3 years from now, and I'm not standing in a real classroom in front of a real blackboard, in front of you want to expand. And then someone is standing behind the camera taping me. You see, you want to expand. You don't want to just still be sitting in your house. But you have to know. And by the way, I'm on my phone. Yes, I'm on my phone. So everything is coming to a head to whereas you get the opportunity to be the best licensed natural hair care practitioner that a person has ever seen. So if you want to be just a teacher, you'll be able to do that. You can teach it because you have a license now. If you want to just do hair, certain hair, like I said, I'm just going to be the upkeep lady. I'm just going to upkeep people's hair. That's the practitioner I want. I'm just going to introduce them to the J hook. That's what I want. I'm just going to, like that. I already know what I want. I already know what I like doing the best. And then you want to do it as a professional. Like by the time I start doing people's hair. Oh, let me show you. Oh, let me see. Hold on. Remember, these are growing in. So right here, if you do like this, here's another one. See, because like sometimes I'll go on, what's the name is? I'll go on YouTube and uh, and people will be talking and I'm like study like they'll turn their head and I'm like, that's why I took my hat off because I like to look at my locks. I like to look at locks, and I want my locks to be beautiful. And I did them myself, so now I get to know. I mean, I did others myself too, but there's no complaints with these. These are like I can see the new growth in the root. I mean, at the scalp, I can feel the new growth. I just felt it. That's why I stopped and paused. But anyway, you want to be the best natural hair care practitioner that they've ever seen. It's like, how do you become a natural hair care practitioner? Once people start asking you that question, then you can start telling them too about you tutoring a module. It's like, hey, I'm gonna show you. I only charge like right now. It's like right now. Right now, I'm telling you this course is free. But I'm telling you, Locksters, once I get my license, no. See, now you're working. Now you're knowing what you want to do. Now you're going and getting the tools. Now you're learning how to do the different hairstyles. Now you're active in the process of helping someone else become a natural hair care practitioner. You don't just want to keep it to yourself. You want people to start talking about you in a positive way. I remember when she first started out, it was like in 2018, and she showed me. She had a little chair. I was trying to think how the plump people gonna fit in that. It was like she wasn't even worried about it. She already knew what she wanted to do, how she's going to do it, and she showed us how she started. She started in her kitchen, and then she set it up to whereas she can sit down and teach. But she is such a good teacher, and she's so calm and confident in what she does. I mean, you want to start hearing people say positive stuff about you. I already know I teach other stuff. You know, I teach Spanish. I tutor Spanish. I tutor reading, writing, and math. I tutor kids how to read, how to write. I sing songs to kids. Kids like music and they like songs and see I do it in one area, but now I'm new at this area right here. Okay, let's get back. Long clips used to assist in the service to separate large sections of hair. Remember, I said, remember those? We know about the little teeny cute ones. Butterfly clips. That was the one I was trying to get. Used to assist in the service to separate small and large sections of hair. I'm going to see you guys whether this is a multiple choice thing or not. Oh, I still got 35 minutes. I mean, you can teach as long as you want. I just, like I said, I just want to do 2-hour sessions. That's it. Because I want to do other stuff. And I like talking. Okay, tools, working boards. I was wondering what the was. Anyway, a hackle board is a flat board with fine upright nails used for combing through human hair extensions to detangle or blend colors and highlights. And here drawing board, a flat leather pad with very close fine teeth that sandwiches and secures human hair, to allow the needed proportions to be drawn from the board without disturbing the rest of the hair while braiding. I gotta look that up. Hold on. Sorry. Gotta learn how to hackle. Hackle board. I know I can just look on the page. It really didn't take me that long to write that. I was reading what I'm writing on. Look, it says warning. I was like, where did that come from? I don't even know where it came from. It says this product may contain a chemical known to the state of California cause cancer. And I know it's not this paper, so I'm trying to think of what I have over here now. Anyway, drawn from the board without disturbing the rest of the hair while braiding. Like, as I'm reading that right there, I'm thinking of learning this in Spanish. I really am going to. I think the next place I'm going to go is. See, I'm look if I'm looking like cross-eyed over this way, I'm looking at the camera again, and I don't know why I keep doing that. Not the camera, but the button that turns the camera, because that's where the lens is, right next to it. See, now I'm looking at the camera. Now I'm looking at the button that turns the camera. Uh-oh. Now you know this is going to be on the test. It's Oregon laws and rules, and I live in Oregon, so I suggest that what you do is you go to the hold on. The Health Licensing Agency Board of Cosmetology Natural Hair Care Training module in your city or your state, not your city, in your state. So I'm taking a quick break right there to tell you that, because the laws are different all over the place. And it reminds me of it. This right here, piece of paper reminds me of that, because it says this product may contain a chemical known to the state of California. It's almost like only people in California can get cancer from this. You know, good and well that they should have said this product may contain a chemical known to cause cancer. See, because it's not only in the state of California, because I know I didn't buy nothing from California. Well, anyway, I'm just saying. Okay, Oregon laws and rules. The following information is taken directly from the Oregon Revised Statutes, Chapter 690, and Oregon Administrative Rules, Chapter 817, governing all cosmetology fields of practice in Oregon. So, and this is kind of new. You can tell from what I read the very first day of tutoring. And that's how you're going to start talking. You know, you're going to start talking like, remember yesterday I said, it doesn't work like that. When you start, when you start tutoring, like, let me give an example. When I was tutoring reading, writing, math, it was 3 together. This time I'm tutoring reading, writing, and math, and character building, because of the age group. It's going to be sectioned. I learned that I should section it, but I normally don't section tutoring, reading, writing, and math, because the kids don't have to read. The children, they don't have to read. They don't have to read. They don't have to write. They do not have to write. And my niece, I had a nephew that was 5, and I was teaching him multiplication and algebra. Because multiplication, algebra, and fractions are rules. And you don't have to write rules. You know, you don't have to know how to spell words. You just have to know the rules. and so, and they were wanting to write, like, we need a pencil, right? You know, no, you don't need a pencil. This is called sight math. And I would hold up a piece of paper, and I'll say, what is this? And they're like, it's a piece of paper. I'll say, no, this is $1. And they kept, no, it's a piece of paper. I said, no, it's $1, and I'm going to fold the dollar in half. So this is a $0.50. So how much is it? A $0.50 is, and they didn't know. I said, a $0.50 is 50 cents. That's 2 quarters. And we're teaching them multiplication. 2 times 2 is 3 times 2 is 4 times 2 is, and it was a little beat. Da 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 da. We're teaching them a beat, and then we're teaching them the alphabet. Abba, could, good, hit it, jaka, you know, whatever. Anyway, so we teach. See, you don't need to write. All you need is your eyeballs and your mouth. And then a little bit later, you need your brain. So you could be any age. And then if the older kid says something like, oh, this is easy. Anytime any older kid said that, I said, that means that you should get everything right. You should never get anything wrong if this is so easy. And once they get something wrong, they're like, oh, I can't believe I got that wrong. I mean, it shocks them. It's like, and it's not that, you know, they don't know it. It's just that what comes out of your mouth is what's the lesson, not how you feel. I said, say this, and they're saying blah, blah, blah. I said, I didn't say this and say that. I only said say this. You have to learn. You have to learn this. And if you listen, you'll learn. So then I started with the rules. If you listen, you'll learn. If you listen, you'll do what? You'll learn. You know. And see, you can be 3 years old and do all that. And then they have to participate. When it came to algebra, the person was a parentheses. I was like, I need 2 parentheses. Who's going to be parentheses? And then I just do real quick, like, before they can even answer. I'd be like, never mind. That's why we're not in algebra yet. Y'all don't even know the symbols. You need to know the symbols in order to do algebra. Let's go over here and we'll do this, you know. Everybody get a piece of paper. Get a newspaper. And they'd be like, no, wait, what? Like what? No, you don't know the symbols yet. We'll do algebra later. Instead of, oh, algebra, oh, fractions. Oh, like people usually hear when they get into the grades that do algebra and do fractions, then they'll be like, this is easy. I learned this when I was 4. The rules are parentheses, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Please, my dear Aunt Sally. You teach them. You Anyway, let's keep going. Huh? Hold up. Something's wrong. Hold on another second. For some kind of reason, I got curved needle. The curve directs the point of the needle away from the head used for weaving thread for braids. Weave styles and weaves for getting close to the scalp without harming the scalp. It's page 92. I figured out how I got the light. It's not the light. It's just, see? And then watch when I put it down. It gets clearer. Okay. But this is page 92. Oh, sorry. I saw the word tools. See? Isn't that cool the way that happened? Because right now we're supposed to be on Oregon laws and rules, and the following information is taken directly from Oregon Revised Statutes, Chapter 690, and Oregon Administrative Rules, Chapter 817, governing all cosmetology fields of practice in Oregon. And you notice it said in Oregon. So that's one of the reasons I asked you to go online, look it up, look up what you have to do for your state. The majority of the stuff is probably going to be the same, but they probably put the state of Tennessee, Louisiana, the state of Alabama. Alabama, that even sounds country. Is Alabama a country? Alabama. Is Alabama a country state? Fields of practice. Natural hair care. One of 5 fields of practice governed by the Board of Cosmetology. Barbering, aesthetics, hair design, nail technology, natural hair care. And we're going for natural hair care. Ooh, I saw some awesome barbers. I mean, okay, practitioner certificate. We're almost done. Oh, no, we're not. I thought it was only 100 pages. What? It's 146. What? What happened? Practitioner certificate. Practitioner certificate is a written authorization allowing an individual to perform services in one or more fields of practice. A practitioner certificate is good for 2 years, you need to know this, and becomes inactive on the last day of the month 2 years from the date of issuance. Meaning, if we go tomorrow, and for example, if tomorrow is the 28th of August, and we go and we get our license tomorrow, the 28th of August, it'll be on the last day of the month 2 years from the date of issuance. So that means that it will be May the 28th, 2020. It's almost like having a driver's a license tag on your car. 2 years. It says the month and the year that the tag expires. It says the certificate is transferable between work locations. And that's one of the blessed reasons why I want to become a licensed practitioner. Because it's no matter where you go, you're always going to be a natural hair care practitioner. But your license part, the license part. And now what we have to see is if you have to take another test. Okay? And these are things you want to know. And instead of reading it every time, you want to become better at it. Practice. A holder of a natural hair care practitioner certificate may practice in the capacity as an employee, an independent contractor, or a freelance or a freelance authorization. And that's what we're going to be. An independent contractor, which is another name for entrepreneur, or a freelance authorization. We'll be able to travel, and it's like as you go. You want to become a natural hair care practitioner, a licensed natural hair care practitioner, and you want to keep your license up. I have a young lady that she did nails and like pedicure, manicures, and something else. And she's like, man, I wish I wouldn't have let my license drop. I wish I wouldn't have let it drop. So you don't want to do that. As a matter of fact, I'm most sure they send you information. Because I remember when I had to get recertified to be an employee at what's the name of the place? What's the name of the place? What's the name of the place? Mount St. Joseph. They sent it like 2-3 months, letting you know your license is expiring soon, or your certification is expiring, and then it was usually on your birthday. Okay, now if you want to be an employee, a practitioner may perform services in a licensed facility under the control and direction of a facility license holder. So, I remember when one of my brothers, he didn't have a license or anything. He did not. But he always wanted a barber. So what he did was he had the funds to open up his own barber shop, and then he advertised the barber shop and asked for licensed barbers to work in his shop. So not only did he get paid for doing that, but doesn't that sound like the coolest thing to do? You have your own shop, and then you advertise for people to work in your shop. Anyway, that sounds cool to me. You see, so, or it's cool. It's that right there is cool. I'm gonna stop right there because I might have to do that, And I would like for my barber shop, if I had a shop, if I had a natural hair care shop, you know what I would call it? The little shop. Because I would like to build one of those kind of storage areas. And you know how sometimes they have the bigger ones and some of them have windows, and they look like little teeny houses. Or rent out somebody's garage. I'm just throwing it out there. My mind is racing. My mind has already got the license and exploring. That's what I'm doing. Because before I start, it's getting dark out. Oh, no, I'm not going to turn around. Because before I started, before I started like doing YouTube, Lockster's Embassy at gmail.com. Then I did the YouTube. Then I did, and I had it for a while, and I'm just putting it on because if you put in Lockster's Embassy and all together, or mzjanis, or see, all of that will come up. All of the stuff that mzjanis does will come up, and there's already videos on about Lockster's Embassy. There's already hat videos already showing how to do the lock socks, and I keep saying but I call them tubes, like that. And there are already videos out there. But when I decided to tutor, I started tutoring on Lockster's Embassy. Okay, let's do independent contractor. We already did the employee. Now we're on independent contractor. Independent contractor registration. A written authorization that allows a practitioner to perform services in a licensed facility not under the control and direction of a facility license holder. See, that's more us. Independent contractor. An independent contractor registration is good for 1 year and becomes inactive on the last day of the month, 1 year from the date of issuance. The registration is transferable between work locations. And if your fear is taking tests, don't fear at all. Because we have it in us. We have everything in us that we need to succeed. It's already in us. We don't have to work hard at all. We don't have to fear taking the test. We don't have to, because it's more common sense than anything else. It's more common sense. It's what you're already doing. As a matter of fact, if you did not know how to do natural hair, then you wouldn't even be seeking after a tutor or someone to go over the lesson with you. You really wouldn't, because if you have kids, you're in. It's like, what did I use on my kids' hair? Okay, I used a comb, I used a brush, I used grease. You think like that. You think of what you have already done. For example, when it's time to learn how to drive, you think of, I got to know the signs. I got to know what they mean. You think like that. You don't think, oh, I got to take a test. No. I think I remember when I was learning how to drive, I said the only thing that's stopping me from driving is knowing how to get from point A to point B. And I told my father that one day, and it was like in the late 1900s. And I said, Dad, if I know how to get there, then I can know how to drive. That was in my head. I don't know why, because I'm directionally challenged. I do know that I can walk somewhere better than I can drive there. And so one day he just said, "Little bit here, take the key and go get mommy." Because he said, "You know how to get to church, right?" I was like, "Yes." I never expected that in my whole life, let alone my half life. Okay, so we got freelance authorization. And then it says the Oregon laws and rules examination must be passed within 2 years before the date of application to obtain a freelance authorization. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't the foggiest idea what that means. I understood the freelance authorization is good for 1 year, but it says the Oregon laws and rules examination must be passed within 2 years before the date of application. Oh, I forgot about this. After you continue the module, if you follow through and continue with Miss Janice, then you can get this. You can get your certification. I'll send it to you in the mail. But say, for example, I leave these up and you don't want to pay for the course or the tutoring or whatever. I do want you to know that how you treat Miss Janice, people's gonna treat you. I just thought it out there. But anyway, you get the certificate. Whether I'm teaching you from a CD or anything, you still get the certificate, right? You get the certificate because I mail it to you. All you have to do is tell me that you've completed the module, and or you're going to show up on the site, and it's going to tell me so and so looked at your video, etc. Like that. So there's ways to find out who took the course. But you want one of these. And then it says the date of completion. After you complete the module, this date, then right here, it starts talking about the Oregon laws and rules examination must be passed within 2 years before the date of application to obtain a freelance authorization. So in order to fill out an application or to do an application or to take the test or all that kind of stuff, you have to have this. Because you need to know, you know how some people will send you something and they'll say, well, sign it here, 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 or initial it here, here, and here, stating that you have read this. And sometimes we just sign stuff. But sometimes, like if you're like me, you want to read it or ask questions. And then the people will tell you, well, it explains that right here. Like, I don't want to read it. Tell me. No. Okay, now look at the freelance authorization. Freelance authorization, a written authorization that allows a practitioner. See, it didn't say anything about licensed. Okay? And you want to be licensed, especially if you want to work around kids, and especially if you want to work for the children that the state that you live in are. Because they have the list. They have a list of, well, you can start a class at the Children's Services Division. It's a natural hair care class. And they will pay you. The state of Oregon will pay you for classes. And you just be good. Or you just be better than good. Because, like in Oregon, there are a lot of African American children who live with Caucasian families. Because in Oregon, there are not that many African Americans. So, what you do is you find the state of what is it called? Uh, The Children's Services Division office, and you go there with your cards, and you go there with your, you go there. You make yourself available to that genre or that group of people. And if you think they're not going to hire you, but see what you do is like me, tell of your videos that you've put on YouTube. Tell of your clients. Tell of your see. That's what I'm saying. Tell of your product. Tell of your because you're going to get to talk to somebody. And the way that I know that is because my mom used to work for Children's Services Division on the adoption committee, and like that. So you want to be known. You want to be recognized. And she said there are not many blacks or not many people available, workmen, that are willing to go out there and connect and be one of those. Be a freelance authorization. Uh, Hold on. I think I messed that one up. Oh no, that does not go there. That's a shot. Be an independent contractor. I had to think of the word. Be a freelance authorization. See, that didn't make sense to me. It says a freelance authorization is good for 1 year and becomes inactive on the last day. Now, we read that. And then I explained what the Oregon laws and rules examination must be passed within 2 years before the date of the application to obtain a freelance authorization. Because, you don't want to procrastinate. You want to get going. You want to get going. Like after you learn this, you want to get right into where do I take the test? What's the address? And then figure out how to get there. What days can I be there? Ours is in Salem. And then the address changed. It says, look at this. A freelance authorization. A freelance authorization holder must provide each client with the agency's name, address, and phone number to comment on services they have received and display the practitioner certificate number and freelance authorization number on all advertising. So, when you want to be a freelance authorization, what I'm going to do as a freelance authorization, or with my freelance authorization, is everything that I do unlicensed. But I'm going to do it licensed because right now I'm a tutor. But I'll be able to teach this because now I have a license and I'm authorized as a freelance. I have a freelance authorization because it says right here, your certificate, your practitioner certificate number and freelance authorization number on all advertising. So that means that it's almost like you're being licensed and bonded, right? And you get the numbers to prove that you are. And then if you do anything negative, wrong, etc., they have more than just your name. Like I was bald headed and she wasn't even supposed to perm my hair because all she is I'm suing for damages. That's why I really like being a natural hair care person, because you don't have to worry about going out of bounds. You can sit down and teach and talk to people about what you do and regarding what you do. You don't want to get out there and just, act like the doctor. I told you that in the earlier lessons. You looking at somebody's hair and going over to ours. You looking at this lesson is getting good to me. Anyway, you're looking at someone's hair and all of a sudden, ooh, that's pussy. Blah, blah, you don't. Let's put this on it because I learned on the page in my book that you're supposed to do this, 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 and that. No, you didn't. You didn't learn nothing doctory. It told you you're supposed to send the people to the doctor and have that looked at, because you don't want to make it worse, and you don't want the whatever is in their hair or hair scalp, whatever is in their scalp to get on anything that's uh, uh, any of your tools that you're going to be using. That's why I like the J hook. As soon as I do people's hair, I have so many of them. As soon as I do people's hair, I literally give them the J hook, because I'm teaching them how to use it. I'm teaching them how to use their J hook. This is yours. I'm teaching you how to use it so that you can teach someone else how to use it. I told you what my nephew does. He comes all the time asking for a kit, and he'll ask for the kit. Because he knows that once the kit is over with, then there's either this for $10 or the J hook for $10. See, he's a smart little young man. Okay, and then what he does is he takes the J hook, he does people's hair, and then with that J hook, he gives it to him. Because he said how he advertises is he talks about his hair basically, but he does people's hair. He would do people's hair or have them do his hair. Okay, now we're going a little bit further on the freelance authorization. A freelance authorization holder must provide each client with the agency's name, address. So they're telling you where you got your certificate, your licensing, it's like doctors where they have all the information in a it's in there in a frame. It's like when I became a licensed minister or an elder, but I became a licensed minister. You literally had to fill out a form, write your name on it, pastor, bishop, or your elder, whoever had to sign it. It is notarized with a seal, and it's official. And it's like, who? And if you do anything wrong, they'll know who to go to. Okay. Now, here's the facility part, because remember, it's freelance, it's independent contractor. I'm trying to think of it. I'm trying to remember it. Okay, what about the facility? Is an establishment operated on a regular or irregular basis for the purpose of providing services in one or more fields of practice. And that's what we'll be doing. And the four, I think, is locking, barbering, nails, and it's one more. But the next time we go over it, see, I'll remember better just like you. Okay, what about the facility license? The facility license is the facility license is a written authorization issued to a natural person to operate a facility for providing services in one or more fields of practice. And if you remember, I was telling you how my brother at my church, he got the building and was paying for the building, and he had licensed barbers in the building who also paid him for their chairs, because you had to pay for your chair, well, how much a month, like that. And so his facility was licensed. And look at this. A facility license is good for 1 year and becomes inactive at the last day of the month, 1 year from the date of issuance. The license is not transferable from person to person or from location to location. That's why you want to be the one that's sort of like a freelance authorization is good for 1 year and becomes inactive on the last day of the month, 1 year from the date of issuance. The Oregon law and rules examination must be, and that's not what I want, a written authorization that follows a practitioner to perform services outside of or away from a licensed facility. And that's what my daughter does. She calls herself On the Go Hands because she has a license, and there are several of them that, not several, I mean, I don't know a whole lot. That's why when you don't have a license or you're not a practitioner, and you can do things like what I'm doing, tutor, you know, and call yourself a practitioner, and but once you take the test and become authorized, you're a licensed practitioner. Because remember, I told you, the only reason why I learned that is because we were a nursing assistant, and we were under licensed nurses, so we were NAs. And then after we took the test, we became CNAs. We became certified nurses assistants. And so now we're able to go anywhere in the state of Oregon, and you can work for agencies, and whoo, they got paid a lot of money. Like if you made $9 an hour as a nurse's assistant, and then you, when it was $9 an hour, I'm almost sure it's higher than that now. But you made $9 an hour as a nurse's assistant, and then as a nurse's assistant, you went from point A to point B when you got certified. So now you can work at a hospital. You can work anywhere. You can become a hold on. But at least you're getting the opportunity to see what I mean when I'm talking about how you begin to use the language of the person that you are as a independent contractor. That was the word I was looking for. As an employee, I mean, you choose what you want to do. You choose it. I'm going to see. Also, I'm going to look into, after I get my license, I'm going to go to a hair care facility. I'm going to tell you what it's called in a minute. A beautician school. To see if that does anything there. If I can teach what I'm teaching online. You see what I'm saying? So you don't put yourself in anybody's box. Don't even let you put yourself in a box. Just go for it. Because it tells you right on the first page that there is really no school for training of becoming a licensed natural hair care practitioner. It's like what the healthcare people decided to do is to give you a license or certification. They certify you so that you can do it somewhere else. So that if something, just really to keep tabs on your character. That's what they do it for. They license and bind you just in case something goes wrong. Because I know for a fact that soon there's going to be insurance for people that do natural hair, and it probably already is, but because we're just getting into this. Okay, listen to the rule regarding posting requirements. It says all practitioner certificates, facility licenses as independent contractor registration must be posted in public view. Freelance authorization holders must show their authorization upon request. So it's almost like owning a car. You know, if the car is still in the place where cars are, what is it called? Where do you sell a car from? A dealership. If they have to have all the right paperwork. But if you are one who goes from place to place, meaning a freelance person, you take a test to be that. Once you take that test to be a freelance person, you have the license with you. If someone says, let me see your license, you're supposed to be, it's like, license, registration, insurance, car insurance. You're supposed to be able to whip that stuff out. They tell you to keep this in your glove compartment. They tell you to put this on your visor. They tell you have to keep it with you. You have to be able to whip out your license. They give you a number, 381, blah, 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 like that. They give you a number. They give you something that's prove who you are. And this right here is saying that it's required as a freelance authorization holder. You must show your authorization upon request. You do something wrong, like one day the lady comes in or the man comes in and their hair is all nice and full and looking good, and a few weeks from now, that's why, and I'm thankful that I'm thinking about this, but that's why one of the things that you should always do is ask, can you take a picture? Praise them. Hallelujah. I mean, not praise the person like they're God, because I said praise them. That brought on the Jesus in me, or brought out the Jesus in me. But what you want to do is you want to tell them how beautiful they look, and look at your hair, and isn't that nice? And I'm gonna be honest with you. This is the first time I ever. Oh, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is the first time I ever did this style, but you brought this style all of me, and it looks beautiful. Here's the mirror, and they give you the mirror, and you be like, and they be like, "Do you like it?" And and while I was sitting in the chair, I'm thinking of an incident where my hair fell out. While I was sitting in the chair, I was like, "Thank you so much. That is really nice, right?" And the next day, I think it was the next day, I was like, "Dad, my hair is falling out." He said, "No, it isn't, little bit. Go to bed." And I was like, "Yes, it is." And I was crying, so he had to pay attention because it really was falling out. My hair literally fell out. And I went back to the people, and they wanted to do something. And but we didn't take no pictures or nothing. I learned my lesson, as you can tell. Okay, a practitioner certificate, facility license, and independent contractor registrations must be posted in public view. And the one that I like is, of course, is the freelance authorization holder. And so I'm excited at the fact that you have to have it with you all the time. So I don't know if it's like the CNA license where it's on a piece of paper at first, or it's a hard card copy. Okay, posting requirements. Facility license and independent contractor registration. Now you know that this is going to be on the test. You know that the licensing part and the law part and you know that. You know about what type of hair you can do because it went over and over and over. So you know that. You know that each state has its own laws. You know that. I mean, you just know it. So because it's a profession, it's a to us it becomes a lifestyle. And this right here, this module makes learning what you do already easy. It's pinpointing it. So as I'm talking to you guys now, I'm again thinking about the school that's on 82nd Street. I cannot wait to be licensed because I want to teach. I love teaching. I love tutoring. And then it's almost like learning a new language. It's a what is it called? The beauty school. Seems like it's Oriental or Asian. I don't know which one I think is Asian is politically correct. And to have an African American person teaching, it would be silly for them to say no. I mean, I would think. Anyway, and I have a facility to teach in. Downstairs is a classroom, and at the basement of my church is a fellowship hall where they teach classes, and there's board chalkboard there, and I'm a teacher. I'm just a teacher. Posting requirements. Facility license independent contractor registration holders must post the most recent inspection certificate in public view on the facility premises and allow access to the inspection certificate upon request by the agency's inspector or representative. Okay, now look at who the agency is. This is just in case someone ever calls and like complains. because now we have the, not we like you, I, me, and not us, but but it is basically mandatory by law if someone complains for the people in charge of the company that the complaints go to, like the police or whatever, the Oregon Health Licensing Agency, etc., to send out a representative to follow through with that complaint. So, getting back to this, the agency is the Oregon Health Licensing Agency. The board is the Board of Cosmetology, which determines practice standards, education, and training, and provides consultation to the agency on all disciplinary actions. So that right there says what I just said in technical terms. Okay. Now, tomorrow we're going to start with definitions. For example, Environmental Protection Agency, which is the EPA. I heard that before and I never really knew what it meant. Is a branch of the federal government which approves and registers chemical. I heard it from safe when I was a safety representative. Seriously, because they have you and you have to have a book that tells all the chemicals that you have in your facility if people work in that facility. For example, if you use bleach, you had to have that bleach information in that book. If you use disinfectant, if you use cleanser, if you use whatever you use in that facility around people, and you would have to have like, say for example, you wasn't thinking and you drank something, you also had to have like eye the eye cleaning machine and know where it is and all that kind of stuff. As a safety rep, you have to tell the people where it is and make sure they know how to use all of that and like that. Disinfect, a process used to destroy harmful organisms, including bacteria, viruses, germs, and fungi. Okay. Low level disinfectant is a chemical agent. I was telling you that tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to go over that. And look, we're almost done. I thought we were at 100, so we would have been done way long ago. But it even got that we're supposed to wash our hands before and after serving each client to prevent cross contamination. That sounds like every job in the world. No. Okay, there's 147 pages. So I think what I'm going to do is just keep going. Not tonight. Oops. But I'm so thankful that you found me. And as you can tell, I'm not advertising it yet. But I got so comfortable today and so relaxed. I was like leaning sideways. Oh, gee. Okay, so let me see. Now, what did I say I was going to do? I think since it's dark, I'm going to put the camera back and see if that helped any. I'm looking at myself. Sorry. And see if that's going to help any. Because I'm so used to looking up this way because the camera lens is usually up there. But the way this camera holder is set, it holds it sideways. Okay. So let me put it the way it was before the sun was over there. Because I might need to. I enjoyed hanging out with you guys today. Or this day. Aha. See if I can put that here. And then I'll put this here. Oh, sorry. Oops, sorry. Sorry again. Come on, you guys. Hope that this works. Come on, you gotta hope that it works. Oops. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep the light out of your eyeballs. Okay, y'all gonna have to tell me. Oops. I think it now it might still be, might be like it was when the how's that? It just cut off for no reason. I think that's gonna be it. I'm not sure, but let's put it. Also, fan that's about this little to sit on my desk. I'm gonna go get that. Then I'll do another quick vid. Because I think, let me see. See, I think if I sit it in front of me and have the light over there, it's a better light. Because see over here, oops, sorry. I'm sorry about that. But to my left, I can see real good. And then I'm sitting in front of the mirror, just in case y'all want to keep looking at the back of my hair. I feel a lot of a whole lot of little peas. It means the back of my hair is growing. But I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and get the camera from the camera, it's a little desktop, okay, sorry. It's a little desktop camera stand. So that way I'll be able to sit straight in the chair. I'll be able to, you know. I'm so glad that I made this video because I really want y'all to see everything from scratch. I mean, you don't have to, but like I said, take your time. Please, just make this you. Just make it you. You know, so that you can even talk through it. I remember when I first started out, you know, I was in I sectioned off a part of my bedroom, put a desk in there. I started in my kitchen. Now look at me weird, because I can have classes at I had tutoring class at Concordia University, and I had another class at the Bible College, Multnomah Bible University, and all I did was just one of them. I had a vision. The Bible University had a vision. The president, excuse me, of the school was sitting on this bench, and it's like the bench was like this. No, this is the the bench, and the bench just turned around, and then he said, if there's anything that I can do, or is there anything I can do to help you, I'll do it for you. I'll do whatever I can to get it done, something to that effect. And I told my mom, I said, I'm gonna ask. At first I didn't know where the college was, and then she said, it's right here. And I was like, as we driving by, I was like, seriously, the college is here? That's the college that he works in? And she said, yes. And I was like, you mean that one that we just passed? She said, yes. And I said, I'm going to go there and ask them, can I have a teacher class there? And I asked, and I never even got to talk to him. I talked to his director's assistant. I forgot what name she had, what title, and she allowed me to, not push me off of somebody else, but she gave me to the right person who was someone that used to come to 6 o'clock prayer. I'm serious. And I taught there for as long as I wanted. And I believe I taught there for a year. And then at Concordia University, I just went in and, well, I told sister at the church, I said, can, would you like me to tutor your son or something like that? Because I want to tutor. And she said, really? She said, well, what I suggest that you do is, and she told me, because it was her job, and you go there and they'll help you fill out a resume and everything. So by the time I get there, which is like a few days later, um, the lady that helped me to make up a resume just started asking me questions, and as she's asking me questions, she then says, "What is your dream job? What if you had the job that would just be?" And I was telling her it would be to tutor kids reading, writing, and math, and how fun it is, and it's not hard, and but she said when I was telling her about that, I was so animated, and and then we can do this, and look, I even know a song, and then I've been practicing for a while, and because I used to tutor on YouTube, and I have the camera over my head. It was on a taller stand, and it was over my head, and then I'll be writing, and then you can see how to write the letters, and so next thing I know, she said, if you have this application filled out by Thursday next week, I'll have some students for you. I think I filled that application out that day. I think I even went back and took it back in that day because I lived that close to where where the place was. It's called Black Parent Initiative, and I was at Concordia University teaching kindergarten to, I think the oldest person that came was in the 8th grade. All together. It was awesome. It was awesome. Every single day, it got better and better, and they kept bringing the kids because the parents found out that I teach whoever comes. If one kid is there, I'm teaching that one kid. If 20 kids come, I'm teaching all 20, like that. And so they started bringing their kids early, and then they started like lingering around, and then they started sitting down in the class, and then they would come early to pick the kids up, and they one time the parent would raise their hand, and the child was like, like, Dad. I was excited, but I was really thrilled because everybody was learning, and the technique that Father uses through me to tutor is amazing. I even once I'm done tutoring, I usually just like re-look over the videos, and that's one of the things that we need to prepare ourselves to do, to at least take pictures of our work. You have to now. I mean, it's a positive thing, yes, but you have to cover yourself. You have to make sure that what you're doing is on the up and up. It's not all about the money, but it's all about teaching what you know. When you become a teacher of what you know, you're going to find out that you have what people want. And it's not the job per se that you do, it's the ability to allow people or push people or pull them or nudge them to do what they do, what they have a passion for. If you can find what a person has a passion for. The young lady, she's my god sister, and I was telling her again, do you want to go take your license in October? And she was like, yeah. I said, well, when can we get together? You notice she's not here, right? I said, when can we get together? Because this is how I study. I study by teaching what I'm studying. I'm studying Spanish by teaching Spanish. It makes you have to learn it. I play games, and I look for people in the game that speak Spanish. I do Duolingo. I just whatever I'm learning, I'm teaching it at the same time and teaching how I teach. Telling them you mess up. I mean, don't mess up until you get it right. And once you get it right, you start using what you know. Like I was changing the words to speak in hair practitioner. Well, I think I got the camera right because I like in the mirror is really right. It's like see you can see in the mirror, you can see behind the mirror. You can see over here it's nice and bright. The lighting is good. So I think I'm gonna wait. Let me see. Hold on. I think that's a little too bright. Yeah, that's a little too bright. I can't tell. I didn't look in the camera while I was turning that light down. Yeah, because the sun is not out now. The sun is like way off. So anyway, I'm gonna say au revoir. I'll be the same. Anya que sé yo. Adios. As nos vemos. Well, thank you again for helping me to learn a little bit more today. I'm going to probably do another video a little bit later, depending on what time it is. I get back with the little camera stand, because this is more like in the classroom setup. But at least I remember to keep it plugged in while I talk today, because yesterday it said beep beep, and I was like, oh no, it's dying. Okay, I'm going to say I'll talk to you guys later, and I'm going to put my thumb over the camera so I can click it off.